Hey everybody, welcome back. Mike here. Today we're talking about PowerPoint, specifically layers within PowerPoint. This is something that is, I would say, definitely PowerPoint 101. It's a kind of very entry-level skill for PowerPoint, but it's actually something a lot of people struggle with even after using PowerPoint for a long time. So let's jump into it. Before we do, make sure you hit the subscribe button because I'm going to show you a trick later in this video, something called the selection pane, and it's going to blow your mind. Even if you know about layers, it is going to be worth clicking the subscribe button. That's all I'm saying. So let's jump right into it. All right, here we have a slide, and I've purposely kind of made it half finished. So we have some problems with this slide. As you can see here, we have things, for example, we're missing an icon here. We'll ignore that. We have this circle is obstructed by this rectangle. This one looks okay. This one, we have it also obstructed by this rectangle. And we also have the text hiding behind this one, which is really annoying. So we have the text right here. I can click it, I can edit it. Here, if I click and I drag, well, that's not good. So I'll Command Z back there. So I clearly have a problem there. So we need to fix some of these problems. The fix to all of these problems is using layers within PowerPoint. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Let's work through this slide together. First, let's take the easy one, this circle in the middle. So the problem is we have these multiple layers within PowerPoint, and for some reason, it just ended up behind a different object. Typically what happens is as you create objects, they kind of stack on top of each other, which isn't always ideal. So in this case, all we need to do is either select that circle and bring it to the front or bring it forward, or we need to select this rectangle and send it back behind that circle. We can do either one. So let's demonstrate going back. So if we select the rectangle, what we need to do is make sure we're under the Home tab. And we're going to go to the Arrange button right here. And there's a couple of ways we can do this. The way that I would recommend starting off with is this Reorder Objects section right here. And we can say Send Backwards. We see that we only had to click it once. Sometimes you will have to click it multiple times. That's just what it is. It depends on how many objects are there and how many objects are in front of it and that sort of thing. But that was all we had to do for that one. Now, if we undo that and I instead click the circle this time, we can go to Arrange. We could just say bring to the very front of all objects on this whole page. And that would be fine. It wouldn't overlap with anything. So I can click that. Same result as you can see there. Now let's go over to this one over here. So if I click the circle here, and I want to purposely, let's see, I don't know if that's a group. There we go. I'm going to click the circle. Let's go to Arrange. And in this case, let's just select Reorder Objects, because obviously I could click Bring to Front, and that would work. Let's click Reorder Objects. This brings you to this kind of crazy view where you can actually see all of the different objects in your slide, ultimately, in the order they're in. So if I wanted to, for example, take this backpack and put it to the very, very top of the stack, I could do that there. If I hit OK, we see that it is now in the very, very top, right? I'm not a fan of that view that I just showed you. I rarely use it, which is probably why I kind of stumbled through showing you it. What I would prefer to do in that scenario, and I'm going to undo that, by the way. So let's see if we can, there we go. What I typically do in this scenario is I would say, let me show you the selection pane. That's the thing that is worth a subscribe here. So to see the selection pane, what you have to do is go to Arrange, and at the very bottom, click Selection Pane. What this allows you to do is see a list of all of the objects, text, rectangles, all of that for your slide, everything. And what we can do in this case, let's just say I had no idea which one it was. I can just use my arrows and wait till I hit the right object. There it is. We see oval. And if I'm not sure it's the right object, check this out. I can click this little eye here and it'll hide that one. So it'll tell me which one we're working with. So in this case, I'm going to take oval and I'm going to now go into the Arrange tab and I'll just say bring to the front. But oh no, now my backpack's gone. So what I can do there is I can say, you know what, let's hide the oval and let's go again through these until we find the backpack. And I actually don't know which one it is, so let's find it. That's graphic 10 right here. So same thing, we can go graphic 10, okay. And what we can actually do is drag it as well. So, I just showed you, okay, go to Arrange, bring it to the front. You don't even need to do that. You can use the selection pane and we can say we know that graphic 10 should be on top of this oval, that right there. And if I really wanted to, I could just take graphic 10, drag it on top, let it go. That's it. Really easy. In fact, I would actually argue using the selection pane is way better than any other tool as far as just doing the layers and reordering objects. All right, so we have one last thing to do here. This is another frustrating one. The text here is hidden by that rectangle. What I would have done a long time ago, and again, I'm ashamed to say this, I would have said, let me move this over here. Okay, I'll click that. Now I'll bring it to the front, and then I'll bring that back and hope I got it arranged the right way. And I'm gonna undo that because that's not the best way to handle this. What we have to do, again, same story, use our selection pane. If we just go into it and we just say, let's arrow down until we find the right thing. There we go, rectangle. Let's just use my trick again, hide it to make sure we got the right thing. That is it. We'll take that, we'll drag that to the very top, and there you go. It's on top, we can see it now. It's not obstructing anything, it's not obstructed by anything. We're good. That's all there really is to it. That is how you can reorder objects. That is how you can use the selection pane. The one thing we did not do, if you go to the Arrange tab, you do also have the option to send things to the very back. You can send them backwards, bring them forwards in one step at a time. But like I said, I'm a big fan of just using that selection pane. I think that will solve 99% of your problems. And as Jay-Z said, got 99 problems, but a layer is not one. That was probably the worst joke ever on this channel, in the history of this channel. I think I've got like 1 million hours of my content watched. That was the worst right there. I'm just gonna say it. So I hope you found this useful. Excuse me for the really ridiculously unfunny joke, but definitely subscribe because I did show you the selection pane. Until next time, stay safe and healthy, and most importantly, stay nerdy.